Hi Aquarius, and welcome to your reading. This is a reading for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Mars for December 2021, but this reading can be valid also for any other time that you find this reading or this reading finds you. So take what resonates, you know the deal, and leave the rest. Really important, please subscribe to this channel if you are somebody who is coming back on a regular basis and hasn't subscribed yet, because it's really important for me to have this channel grow and also be recommended to maybe a little more people. So this is really the biggest support that you can give me, is a like, a subscribe, or even a comment. So thanks for that. In the beginning of the reading, I'm looking into general energies here for you. In the second part of the reading, I will go into a love relationship situation. This can also be any other relationship in your life, but I'm focusing on romantic love. And in the very end of the reading, so stick with me, I will draw some charms as well. And I'm excited for this reading for you. So you're coming into this month very strongly with the art card. This is also the temperance card in the regular decks. So in this deck it's called art, which I find beautiful. It talks about Sagittarius as well as a Sagittarius card, and we're still in Sagittarius season till the 21st, when the sun then moves into Capricorn. So the art card is really about finding the right inner recipe, balance, and temperance to move forward. So it is a card about bringing together opposites, kind of combining the opposites, combining the impossible, fire and water energy. And therefore this person in this card is a genderless person. So it's a hermaphrodite energy, where male and female archetypal energies are combined and resolved. Therefore, this is also talking about this rainbow here that is building out of this higher development within the self. And since this is a very artful process, this card is also called art, because it takes patience with yourself. It takes time to do things in the right timing, in the right way, in the right combination, to find the right amount of a certain energy in the moment that is helpful for your development. This is a very sophisticated energy. So with the art card, we're in a very sophisticated energy to take steps that are moderate but forward, and that on the long term give us the best outcome. And we are stepping into the artist of life, if that's what you want to call it. So we see life as art, and we paint it in the perfect combination of colors and energies. So yeah, beautiful. So you can really approach problems or issues or challenges now in a very artful, grown-up, sophisticated, patient, moderate way, balanced, and you are really good at finding the right solution also to a problem, because the art card is also about alchemical processes, and this is where we find the right recipe, the right solution to something. I think there is a moment in your life that is more profound, where you really have to look at the pros and cons in a situation. This can have to do with relationships, because Libra is coming through 2 times here in these 2 cards. 2 of Swords, 4 of Swords. This is the moon in Libra, and this is Jupiter in Libra. So the moon in Libra is an interesting energy, of course, because the moon is about emotions and Libra is about basically an analytical way to look at your emotions. And this is exactly what's happening here. So it's really figuring out how to find the middle way. 2 of Swords is really the middle way, and also taking that mental step into that mental decision. This is not necessarily acting out that decision yet, but finding the peace within yourself to accept all the sides of a problem and to find the inner truth also of a problem, and so you're able to move forward. This is, I think, a step here, especially in your thinking process, that might be aware, because this is maybe sometimes this can be more exhausting than we think, a step like that. I think this is a challenging moment, and I'm saying that because there's a Four of Swords, and the Four of Swords really asks us to mentally process or mentally integrate experiences or moments of our life, and giving ourselves the rest, even though we know there is still a way to go, but drawing back and giving ourselves the rest that we need to integrate what we've learned so far. It's really about what we've learned so far. And yeah, take your time and take your pauses and take your moments to really step back and let things naturally just sink in mentally. You don't have to force it. The Four of Swords is a meditation card, but at the same time, it's not asking you to force any thoughts. You know, it's quite the opposite. It's really like just letting thoughts sink in as good as they can by themselves without trying to direct them, because you already had the moment of making a decision or of taking a stand, and now you can just process that whole moment. I think that's what's happening here this month. For some reason, this really feels like some sophisticated, serious business. And even if it's just something within yourself, but this really feels like a big step into something. It's just the energy that's coming through for me. The Eight of Pentacles in a relationship situation and the Ten of Pentacles. So we do have energies this month, especially with this new moon solar eclipse in Sagittarius, which is this card, and I think this is really speaking about this new moon solar eclipse as well. That's a big deal because the solar eclipses bring sudden changes sometimes, or more dramatic changes that are inevitable. So if we are in tune with ourselves, we already know that something's coming. Sometimes we are also taken by surprise by the eclipses. But in this case, this has a lot to do for you with this new moon eclipse in the very beginning of the month. Because Sagittarius, again, this is Sagittarius card, and the eclipses bring a very profound new understanding of our emotional world and how we want to manifest that in the future, up to 2 years. So there is a new start, a restart. And I think for you, when it comes to love and your emotional world, it's very much about where you want to put your energy into, what you want to invest to, where you want to put your focus into, and what's the picture, the end goal. I'm not even sure if there is a specific person coming through so much here, but there is an end goal sort of situation. What do I want to build? There is definitely a person attached to that in the bigger sense, but the Sagittarius energy is also about the bigger picture. So there is the sense of, with the Ten of Pentacles, what's the bigger picture here when it comes to relationships? What do I want to build? What do I want to build together with a person? How does that look like? And what does it mean for me? Where do I have to put my energy into? There might be a story from the past resurfacing with Venus going retrograde in Capricorn, for sure. And it could be something that was very real and that you're working through again. And where you really are challenged to find your strength and your grounding and your responsible way of dealing with your resources when it comes to relationships, where you're challenged to really sit in your power, stay in your power, ground yourself, and be in tune with yourself and the nature of also building something and relationships and so on. This is a slow energy and a very long-term thinking energy that's coming through here for me. And it really all in all has to do, what is the bigger picture and what do I want to build with this other person, and how do I find this other person, or is this other person already here? And how do I live up to, there is an element of how do I live up to that. There might even be a person, and that came through in the German reading, that already does have a family and that you cannot really detach from so much. Maybe you share a kid together and they kind of realized the full picture with somebody else, because we have a 3 of Cups energy here. And that's very comfortable in a way, because also the Daughter of Cups is here. So because it's hard, I think, for you to emotionally get out of a way of feeling. It's very challenging, I think, right now, because we have this card too. I think this really emphasizes, this reading really emphasizes for you that you now are in a moment of healing. The Temperance card is a healer or a healed card energy that is allowing you to put yourself first, finally. That's what I hear. With this Leo dice, there is this element of maybe not having put yourself first in the past, or always putting yourself on the back burner, you know. And now it's time for you to really realize that you have the power now to make those decisions that empower you even more, ground you even more, and don't take that grounding away from you, and don't take that security away from you, and that safety feeling that you establish within yourself. There is a shift in how you step into a new not new destiny, but more into your destiny here with the South Node, when it comes to expanding yourself. And I think you're really taking a very conscious step. It's very self-motivated in your thinking. There's a realization and a balance and an understanding, even though the step is not easy. And maybe also move away from a picture that you thought was yours, because this South Node came to the 10 of Pentacles here, and that there is much more, that the bigger picture is much larger than you thought, that you're starting to realize how this expansion is limitless in a way, because that's Sagittarius kind of thinking as well. So this Sagittarius energy for you this month is so strong. We are in Sagittarius energy. We have this new moon solar eclipse, but for you it's really coming through strongly, dear Aquarius. It's more prominent definitely than for other readings that I did so far. So yeah, step into that idea of not limiting your mind, because that's also very much the 9th house and Sagittarius, and learning about new cultures, new concepts, travel, philosophy, all this higher knowledge, and don't limit your mind. Don't limit your mind this month. And this might be hard because we have a lot of earth energy, and the earth energy pulls us back into the now and into the reality, and shows us our limits as well, and how manifesting is in a sense sometimes limited, but in our mind it's really not. So there you go. All right, so yeah, this never-ending story. I want to read you the thing from the book, because it's such a good book and there's always just a good message that comes with it. 37. This is a 10 again. The full picture. Self-criticism, the wounded ego, unnecessary dramas. There is a story woven through the imperfect fabric of life that tells of hurt and loss, rejection and humiliation, self-loathing and arrogance, and all manner of suffering born of unnecessary dramas. It is the old story whose refrain is that you cannot do this, must not go there, should not say that, lest your world come crumbling down. Today know that none of this is actually true. This is really about expanding your mind and not limiting your thinking. Wow. Today know that none of this is actually true. The sky is not falling. The voice you hear is just a small, scared, conditioned part of you that got stuck in a lie, wants to protect you and needs to be seen as a victim. Love that lost piece of you. Fear is all it knows. Distorted guidance is preventing you from being true to yourself. You are not your story. The narrator is simply the voice of your fearful part, small and vulnerable and easily soothed. I love this message. So, relationship message here is sometimes your heart enters into a contract with another that results in pain, not because of abuse or neglect, but for other more complex reasons. Shame, fear of intimacy, and low self-esteem are the greatest challenges to the success of a relationship. Consider how valuable this knowledge is, however. Right now, you have an opportunity for important healing, but you must reflect on the stories you weave about love, connection, abandonment, rejection, and loneliness. Not only do you need to begin a new story, you need to forgive yourself for telling yourself the old ones. Have compassion for the part of you that believes all those narratives. None of them were ever true anyway. I love this. So this is really about a new narrative and a bigger picture with this, again, Sagittarius energy and the new moon. So then we have German quotes from a calendar that is full of quotes of strong, famous women. And I'm going to read this to you and translate it as good as I can. So 21st of May might be a date that is important for you, or the 10th of August. And the quotes say, "The hour is precious. Don't wait for a later opportunity or a later moment." Katharina from Siena. Okay, and then we have a emancipated woman that is maybe also in a more progressive age, can not be held back by any power of the world. So I think this is really about this Priestess of Discs energy. You're in such a powerful moment now and so grounded within yourself and so focused actually that you can't be held back anymore. All right, charms. So show yourself, Leo energy. Wow, okay, this is a lot of charms. Oof. Oh, wow. Yeah. A big moment here is, what do I want to invest in? I'm not going to invest into anything that compromises my own self-worth. Clarity is slowly coming. I think through what you stepping into right now, you're gaining more and more clarity about your love life, about your relationship life. It's really more like what you're drawing in right now, I think. And I think to really be able to move forward and expand and grow here, you have to work with your memory, integrate the past, and let it integrate itself as well. We have 2 times the memory charm here with these elephants that really talk about old memories, old experiences, shared memories as well. And I think it's really time now to let that sink in, and also kind of naturally let it sink in and not force it, you know. Maybe just memories are coming up, you can use them, you can write them down, you can maybe analyze them, you can look at them, and more clarity comes to you. And this is a process that takes a while, and that's fine, you know. You don't need to rush it, you don't need to force it. I don't know, this maybe there's another person in the past that, or there is another person where there is some hidden element to it, so something cannot be in public, or relationships in the past where it kind of changed what you think is important, what people think, or there is some element of it's important what the public thinks of connections or relationships, especially for this other person, or this other energy, or this old energy. So it's really important to watch out which energies project onto you with the evil eye when it comes to your relationship status, I want to say. I don't know why. It's very strange. Relationship status. There is some evil eye kind of moment here where you have to be careful how people see you and how they can really get to you by their image of you. But that's just their image of you. That might not have to do with you. I think something is gonna change when it comes to that. And by you staying focused and grounded here, and also grounded with nature, coming through strong, maybe you're doing yoga, you can really find a way to detach from those projections from people, or from potential partners, or from former partners. How they see you is not important. It's really not. It really is not. It has nothing to do with you. It has probably a little bit to do with your past, but nothing to do with you in the now, if you know what I mean. So yeah, it's grounding. You have a lot of grounding energy, earth energy, grounding stones. We have the tiger's eye, being able to see more through grounding yourself in nature. Also, again, root chakra, ground your sexual energy, ground your root chakra. Be creative when it comes to grounding methods. There can be miracles coming up with this. This is my little miracle charm. And when there is if there's a third party situation, this is probably a karmic thing. This is when this charm comes out upside down. It's kind of my soulmate gone bad kind of situation, you know. There is some sense of a connection that was not maybe felt the same way from another person, and what's coming through also is that it was maybe and please don't get offended, because we all do it and we all step into these energies at times, and it happens to the best of us. But there might have been in the past a little bit of a naive wish to settle with a person that is not very realistic. I have to say it like that, I'm sorry. It's really hard for me to deliver those messages, but sometimes there is no other way. I don't like when tarot readers just, twist everything around into a light energy. That's not my job. My job is to read the cards. It's your job to twist it around in the light energy. But anyway, sorry for this little detour. So grounding your root chakra, grounding your heart chakra, it can work wonders to go into nature right now for you. Maybe to do some tantric work, do some breath work, go deeper within your practice. Figure out if you're not in a breath work, yoga, tantric, all that kind of meditative stuff practice, then start learning about it. Now is the time. how to work and balance your chakras. What I really see strongly here is a root chakra meditation where you just sit on the ground, especially when you're in a place where there is not winter, maybe in nature, maybe outside, and you breathe and you imagine that's a really good tactic, imagine your body building roots with the earth. You can do this also by standing up. So standing and closing your eyes, breathing for, let's say, start with 10 times to 20 times, deep breath in, breath out. And imagine every time you breathe in, your body actually builds roots into the earth, into the ground. There's so much yin energy coming through also. This is yin energy, female energy, receptive energy, really feeling deeper within yourself. It's coming out exactly on this blue rose, which is also the motherly moon energy that is symbolized by that blue rose. So even if those very clear, intense decisions that you have to make might feel uncomfortable, this is still this is your nurturing motherly instinct trying to go back into, you know, old patterns here. If you're aware of that, I think it's going to be easier to step into this new, bigger picture with the 9th house and the Sagittarius energy, to allow yourself to expand and to grow like a tree, which is beautiful. Okay, dear Aquarius, what an intense, beautifully spiritual reading that is so much in touch with nature. I do hope that you gained some insight, some knowledge from this. I hope you can work with this and it supports you in your journey. And I thank you so much for being here and sharing your time with me. Please subscribe, like, comment. It's really important for me to make this channel grow. And I hope that you have a great December, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.